on the tub still, but there's no water, so we're not gonna electrocute ourselves today. Oh my goodness, I gave up on the wireless headphones. We're just gonna use these, so hopefully the audio isn't too echoey for you guys. Like, I can hear myself talk, but the wireless stuff was just for the birds. That was not gonna happen. Since I don't have any dibba stuff, does the angle work? And sit like this, curled up in a tub. If we angle our, oh, dogs on display. I forgot, guys. The dogs are barking. I forgot I had no shoes on or socks. For free? A New Year's special, perhaps? My bad. All right, hold on. I think I'm gonna straighten it up a little bit. It's just barely fitting on the top of this trash can. There you go. Now you can see the mic a little bit. I know you were dying to know where it was. There we go. We could angle it down. Or do we kind of like the small feel? I feel dwarfed in this tub. I bleached the tub today before everything, so you're welcome. I even cleaned it. I even washed my face, brushed my teeth, put on clothes for you guys, except socks, obviously. That was a little special treat, a little New Year's special. So we've done it! Yay! I have to tell you, I set this up kind of in record time. I started doing things an hour before, so that way I wouldn't feel too rushed. And because when I do these ones, I do them from my husband's laptop, and so I went and got that all set up, had that updated, and everything was good to go, have everything pulled up already. We know there's gonna be some hiccups. There was a small one before where, I have a light, an actual light over here, and I had plugged it into, I have like a little thing with a bunch of USB ports, but it's fried. I think it's fried, a couple of the ports are, and so it was like too much power, can't support it. I was like, well, let's see what we can do, but we problem solved, we figured it out. I just plugged it into something else. It's nothing too impressive. The camera froze a little bit, but I think that was because of the light. It was overwhelmed. It seems to be working fine now. We got the audio over. I dare say, every now and then we know what we're doing over here, huh? Do let me know, though, about the sound. If it gets too echoey, I can just remove the headphones or something. Like I said, I don't know how it sounds on your guys' end necessarily, but thank you to anybody who pops by or watches the VOD. I appreciate you. These are my favorites to do because they're shorter streams. We're just sat in a tub. We're just chilling. We're just big vibing. I kind of wonder if I should have brought my Polaroid camera in here because we could have taken a couple shots. Maybe I'll still do that. Especially before we get started. And because I've got this set up so smoothly, I can get out and move around a little bit more easily, so that's nice. New Year's Eve! It feels like just yesterday we were sat in a tub in a different state talking about 2024 and how that was going to be our year. Do you feel like it was your year? Do you feel like 2024 was your year? Do you feel, at least in some ways, like it was better than 2023 or better than you thought it could be? You know, I know 2024 with the job that I have, for some people 2024 was a really rough start at the beginning. They were really going through it. And then it's nice to hear them be like, yeah, I turned it around. You know, I managed to make connections or do things, or I'm moving myself in a direction that I feel like optimistic about going into the new year. I'm like, yes, that's so fucking good to see, because I know the holidays are tough for people. A lot of grief stuff pops up, a lot of like guilt stuff about time not spent, a lot of financial stress. It is rude. Frankly, there should be, hold on, what words am I trying to use? You shouldn't have to pay bills in December or January. Give people like a little bit of a recovery time, you know? It's too expensive in between the holidays. It's like I need a little bit longer to financially afford rent and all that good stuff there. So that's, how did we get there? I don't remember, but that's okay. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Like I say every time, we're a teeny tiny little channel, so anybody who finds it, I'm like real thrilled. That's so cool. Tonight we're going to be talking about 2024 in all its glory. We'll reminisce on some music. I've got our early 2000s hits playlist pulled up because that was the best genre for club music. We were all too young by then. I think I was too busy goofing around in middle school and elementary school to truly appreciate the early 2000s, and now it's a time that I can never get back. I should have been out there clubbing. I should have been out there hustling and buying a house and all that stuff too, but no. I was too busy preparing for track and field and doing book reports. That'll teach me, honestly. But, you know what? We're turning it around. I dare say 2024 was a pretty good year for me. And I think we're going to end on a solid note. Bit of a stressful note. We'll talk about that, but I think it's going to end on... I think I can say that this was a pretty solid year, and I know next year I've got some stuff that I'm really looking forward to, and just more opportunities to grow and try and, reach a decent type of human form before I turn 30 in the impending years. Oh gosh, I'm going to be 28 next year. Oh my goodness, Matthew will be 28 in a matter of hours. That'll be exciting. Woohoo! As we age closer to 30 together. I can't believe we met when we were in our early 20s. We're getting sentimental already, and we haven't even begun the PowerPoint presentation because, as per tradition, every year I've got a PowerPoint presentation that I'm going to make you guys sit through. So, enjoy. I did add some of those fancy transitions, so we've got words flying in. It's pretty simple, nothing too crazy, but I think it gets the point across all right. If anybody has any plans for the new year, I would love to hear about them. We've got a little bit of Tesoro della Regina Prosecco. I'm not familiar with the brand. It was the cheapest at the liquor store, and I was like, yeah, we're going to have us a little bit of bubbly while we're sat in there. Sorry, I am going to bump the mic a bunch of times, so you're going to have to deal with that noise feedback. And then looky! I was very spoiled for Christmas. I got some fancy glasses, so we got us a little glass with some ice in it. We've got our water. We've got paper towels on deck for when I inevitably spill something or knock something over. But that's I'm very proud with how smoothly the setup went for these. We know these aren't long streams because I'm sat in a bathtub, so it's just kind of for however long I ramble until I get tired or drunk. In this case, it's going to be tired. I'm not going to get drunk. Although I don't think I've ever got drunk in a bathtub stream. Tipsy for sure, but not drunk. Dead by daylight, drunk by daylight, that's a different story. Although we did pretty good on this past Friday. I'm either building up a tolerance or I was very good at the matches, and so I didn't get to... Plus, we were doing shots of melon liqueur, so I think in general that kept us alive more than Ghosty, who was throwing back shots of vodka like she's a 20-something. God forbid. Let me make sure this... Yep. It is all pulled up and it is working. 2024? Jesus. Just a handful more hours. I'm gonna have some friends coming over later tonight. So hopefully that's okay. I don't know. We'll see. Just gonna try and have a good time. I've got my husband here, and we're gonna just vibe out and have a good time. I didn't work today. I don't work tomorrow, so that'll be nice. Paycheck-wise, not so nice, but honestly, there are more important things. I'm glad I took this time off just so I could spend it with my family. I hope everybody travels safe. If you do go out and about, just be careful. People are stupid when they're sober, let alone when they're drunk, they're even more stupid. So be mindful on the roads, trust yourself, don't trust other people around you. So just be careful. Stay in if you want to stay in, stay sober if you want to stay sober. And I guess, I don't know, there are some like people that do wishes, right? They do wishes at the new year. They do like 12 wishes, one for each month, the things they want to see happen. Do any of you do that? Maybe that's something we could look at. I have a list of 25 things that I want to do or think about. So that's going to be in our presentation. We'll get to that. We're going to talk about the highlights. I don't have a whole lot of lowlights, but we know I'll complain at least a little bit, just a little bit. Like I said, 2024 was really a solid year. I was quite spoiled, and I'm optimistic that hopefully I can, I'd like to make it a good year for the people around me as well next year. I mean, and always, but I definitely have a lot of character development to go through, so that'll be exciting to see. Hopefully I can figure it out. Sometimes I forget that, like, I'm nearing 30 and I'm like, I still feel so just out of place in a lot of ways with talking to people or like going places, and I'm like, yeah, I just don't want to feel out of place anymore, so I'm just gonna like take some time to reflect and enter my independence era where I just go places on my own, so that way I feel comfortable and I don't feel like I need somebody else with me. Not that I feel I need that, but I'm wondering if because of the move, and that's to be expected. I wonder if because of the move I felt like I needed to have somebody go places with me. And I mean, before you know it, in 4 months we'll have been here a year. That's crazy to think about. It feels like we just got here and are still settling in, and I guess in some ways we are, but now that I have been here for almost a year, it's time for me to branch out. Be bold, brave, and beautiful. Check out the place on my own. So I think that'll be exciting. So, we got our water, of course, because I'm going to be talking forever. I've even kept the beverages away from the electrical stuff, so well done us. We are absolutely free of fire hazards this time around. When can we say that's ever happened on a bathtub stream? Do we like this lighting? Let me see here. So this one's kind of a warmer tone. Let's take a gander. It's got like different settings and shit. Ooh, that one's a cooler tone. That one's like a whiter type. So there's a yellower one. There's this one. I think we do this one. Oh my goodness. We got our crucifixion corset, got our jeans. A friend of mine got this for me for Christmas, so we're gonna be doing that. I said we look good. I say we get to it. Let me double check, make sure I'm not missing anything. I'll try and keep an eye out for in case there's any tech issues, but hopefully everything will be just fine. That is tricky with doing these things in the afternoon. People are at work. That's alright though. Let's see here. So to pull this off, I need to switch it to this, I think. Yeah. Let me hide the Dead by Daylight rules. Move me right about here. Increase my size a bit. There we go. '24 recap. Sit tight while I make sure everything is good on your guys' end, because I can't have both screens pulled up at once. Dun, 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 dun. Yes, it looks good. Sweet! Alright. Here we go. Alright, 2024 recap. Woohoo! We did it! We made it to another year. Let's go ahead and pour us a little something to get us through this. Ooh, mic check. There we go. Alright. What to expect? We'll start with talking about the 2024 highlights. Like I said, we've had some highlights I'm excited to talk about. We'll do our list of 25 things to do or think about. And then what my camera is covering is it says probably rambling at some point. We know we're going to go off topic. We're going to go off script. I'm going to talk about everything and anything and nothing. Probably going to lose my train of thought and contradict myself about 50 times in a sentence. But this is what we're going to do. Like I said, I love these streams. We just get to chat. And I don't have to be live for a super long time. Not that I don't think my streams go very long. Every now and then, like 3.5 hours seems to be the average. 5 hours if we're doing Drunk by Daylight, and that's just because we're winning so much that we're trying to give you guys content. We're like, we're too good at this. We gotta keep going so we lose some and maybe drink for them, otherwise we'll be bored. So 2024 highlights. Moved to Maryland. Yes, in April of this year, we decided to make the big jaunt on over to lovely little old Maryland. It was a long process, lots of saving, lots of planning, and then we finally pulled the trigger and got the hell out of Ohio and are now in ye old Maryland. 8.5 hour, 9 hour drive. Lots of packing, lots of stuff. What do they always say? You never realize how much shit you have until you move. We'll talk about that at some point, I'm sure, but it's been good. I quite like the state. People here drive like morons. That can't be helped. Like I said, just be careful out on the roads. It's nice being in a state that doesn't want to take away a woman's rights. I went to a doctor and told them what I wanted, and they listened to me. That's refreshing, whereas in Ohio, I think I would have had a little more flack. Although I guess we lived in a pretty blue part of the state. I don't know. We got friends around us. Matthew's very excited to have his friends near him. Lots of really good food. Gas prices are actually surprisingly not that bad. We get to be by the water, so when it gets to warmer weather, I can actually go to a beach or something. That's quite nice. We went to Ocean City for my birthday. That was the highlight. I don't think I put that on here, but got to go to Ocean City. Got to actually have like a little birthday celebration. That was quite nice. I was very spoiled. But yeah, we moved to Maryland, and it's been a positive thing so far. Twitch, we kept streaming. I thought I was gonna give it up. I really did. I was like, I'm having a hard time here, and it's just because I wasn't doing what I wanted, and I was focusing on the wrong things and trying to do something that just didn't work for me. You're gonna see progress in a lot of different forms. For me, I've never, not yet. I've never really had a high CCV, or I don't gain a lot of followers or subs really quickly, but I think my performance in general on streams has like improved. So even if the numbers aren't improving, I'm feeling more comfortable on the camera, especially if I know I'm doing something, which is why we did like a hiatus and we're talking about changing things up, is because you can tell when like I'm bored on stream. You can tell when I'm like just doing something because it's like, oh, this is what we should be doing. Even if I am enjoying it, it's like I'd rather just enjoy that off camera, like playing games. I love me some video games. I'm so happy Matthew got me into them. But I'd really rather just play them. I don't want to have to talk about them. I love to watch other people play them and talk about them, though. That's so fun. It's just not I just want to sit there and enjoy it and be silent, and you can't be doing that shit. Or I can't be doing that shit. I'm sure there's, like, streamers out there that are like, just gameplay, no commentary. Love that. That's not kind of what we started here. And like I said, I don't even really want a camera on or like, to be live in any capacity if I'm playing a game. I just want to be existing. So, I feel like I'm taking it less seriously, which is good. I can see progress now because I'm not like putting all this weight on something that's just in hindsight not that big a deal for me. For people that they want this to be their livelihood, yes, absolutely. Twitch is never going to be my livelihood. I have a career that I enjoy. We'll talk about that. I've got a husband, I've got a family, I've got a social life, I've got hobbies. Those things are... So this just gets to be something that I try to get better at. And I feel like this year, and especially in the last like few months or so, like I really enjoyed our October streams. I thought they went very, very well. They may not have had like a high CCV. That's concurrent viewers, right? CCV, right? You guys are supposed to know these things, not me. But I feel like they went well, and that's kind of like the most important thing, right? So heck yes. And I'm glad we stuck to it. I really had seriously thought about giving up. I was like, we're not enjoying this. It's becoming stressful. I dread turning on a camera and like having maybe somebody pop in and see me. Like, that's so stressful. So I was like, I don't want that. But glad we didn't give up, and we're just kind of refocusing now. New job! It says 2019 page a day, but new job. We got a new job. Yes, and by end of January, I will be completely out of the job in Ohio. I think I just have 3 clients left there. Everybody knows they're getting transferred. Everybody knows this. And so that's really exciting. I'll finally be done with them, and I don't have to re-up my license. Thank God, because I can't afford that. And then moving in a really positive direction as far as going to qualify for independent licensure next year. Absolutely next year. The goal is July or August I should qualify for independent licensure. If that doesn't happen though, that's okay. We'll take the time. As long as I'm doing what I need to on my end and I'm hustling, we'll talk about that in a bit. But I really like my new job. I genuinely enjoy being a therapist. I think it's very good work. Sometimes a lot of times it's very difficult. But I enjoy the clients I work with. I enjoy the office that I'm at. I like that I have my own space. I like that my office is not far from where I live, so I'm not traveling like back in Ohio. I would travel like 45 minutes to an hour to get to one of my offices on Monday and Tuesday, which is not exorbitantly long. I get that, but when gas prices were what they were, I was like, I have to put gas in the car like 2 times a week because I worked at another office then that would be 30 minutes away and another office then that was only like 25 minutes away. But it's just like it wears on you, and it's like I'm spending so much on gas, and of course, as we know, because we complained about the Ohio job, not seeing the rewards from the travel, from the long hours, like you just weren't getting paid. So I was like, I'm doing all this and I still can't like make ends meet, so that's really disappointing. Still seeing some financial stress with this new job. I'm kind of succumbing to the fact that that's just part of it, but I'm not gonna give up. We'll talk about that a little bit more. There's still like a lot more potential and a lot more positives with this job. For starters, decent health insurance. And they have a 401k already. I don't qualify for it yet. You have to have worked like, I think, 1,000 hours or something before you can qualify for it. So we'll take our time getting to that. But they've got this stuff already. I get along well with my supervisor. Everybody's been pretty friendly that I've worked with so far. One of the reasons, and I would always, especially when money gets tight and I'm feeling the stress, like earlier this week, yesterday actually, I was like, hi Hales! Happy New Year's Eve. I hope you're doing well, sweetie. Thank you so much for popping in. I'm spoiled to see you. We're just talking about some of the 2024 highlights. So we talked about moving to Maryland. We talked about my Twitch stuff. And then we're talking about my new job right now. But if you wouldn't mind like posting, if you have any highlights, big or small, from 2024, I want to celebrate chat. I want to celebrate y'all's highlights too. This is me just being selfish and talking about my own year, but I want to hear about your guys's. I get along well with my supervisor. I get along well with everybody there. I've got my own office, so I don't have to move around. It's so nice. They have tech there, so I don't have to, when I am in person, I don't have to like bring my own stuff. They have a freaking phone and a working computer for me. It's how wild that is. The place is secure. It like locks up and has a reliable alarm system. Yeah, all in all, I'd say it's been a pretty positive experience, actually. And we're gonna keep working. We're gonna keep growing our caseload. There's gonna be a lot of opportunities to do that in the new year. So I'm getting ready to take on a bunch more clients because, you know, New Year comes up. People are like, it's time for me to work through some stuff, or they're feeling that motivation to better themselves. So we're seeing an influx of clients. So I'll be taking on more clients, which is hopeful and moving us in a good direction. I got married. I don't know if you guys can see that. It says married on the sign behind me. So I got married. I eloped. Woohoo! Yay! We did the thing! I locked him down and got tied on his life insurance. He's not getting rid of me now, boys. Make him sign that prenup. Wait, no, I don't want him to sign a prenup. He makes more than me. I'm kidding. But we did it. We eloped. It was a very good time. We eloped in July. Yeah, it was July. We were very spoiled. We had family come out. We had friends that worked to coordinate things. It was very sweet and not at all like asked or anything. I mean, people did so much and I felt bad, and I hope that it was out of the kindness of their hearts and not as a, and now you owe us type of thing, because I keep looking at those types of friendships as they pop up and I'm like, ooh, okay. It was really pretty. We got married in a cute little church, or eloped in a cute little like courthouse chapel. Ate some good food, ate some good cake, drank lots. I would 10 out of 10 recommend. Plus, you know, the weather was beautiful. I love me some warmth, and it was in the middle of July, so it was just all in all a good time. And, you know, I'm very lucky. My husband is a very good man, a very patient man. And it's just crazy to think that we've been together 6 years. I know not a long time in the grand scheme of things, but I think about the fact that we met when I was 20, and he was 21. And I'm like, gosh, we were such different people then. Like, the things that stressed me out today, or the things that stressed me out back then, I look at today and I'm like, you're okay. You made it through that and got some perspective, you know. It was fair to be stressed at any point in life. Whatever you're going through is what you're going through. But for him to have just, like, been there, that's huge. He's grown and changed a lot in our time in our relationship. And then, you know, we'll talk. I'm excited to have like a more formal wedding next year. I really am. I oscillate back and forth, feeling a little bit bad trying to have one, especially with money, because, you know, we go back to the money thing always. I hate it. We'll talk about that. But, you know, why should I feel bad about wanting to have a wedding? You know? So I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be fun. We've got a venue picked. I've got my dress. I've got my groom. We've got our parties. We've got our date. I've got a food place that I'm talking to that I'm feeling like it'll be good to work with them. And then I'm trying to find a photographer. They're expensive out here. Look, I do photography. I'm all for getting paid what you're worth. Absolutely. I, however, cannot afford like a $5,000 photographer. I hear some of these prices and I'm like, nope. Can't do it. Cannot possibly do it. Hale said, my 2024 highlights. There's one thing that I can't really say, but the other ones are I got my driver's license and the start of my divorce. That's about all that happened in my 2024. One thing that I can't really say, well, I hope that it's good. Yay, driver's license and the start of your divorce. Get them out of there. Get them out of there. You deserve better treatment after everything you've been through. Okay, get them out of there. And good for you for getting your driver's license. It is, like, it's tough if you don't do it when you're in high school because it's kind of like that's the momentum they're pushing you towards. But, like, my sister didn't get her license until maybe a couple years ago. It's just like whenever you feel like you've got the real estate for it, or you've got the time, or you've got the comfort level, or, you know, you can pay an instructor, whatever that looks like for you. Sometimes it just takes time. Way to go getting that driver's license. I'm trying. I believe in you. Hales, I believe in you 100%. You've been through harder stuff. You've had a very tough life, so you can pull through this 100%. Oh! Things to do and think about. On to the next section. Hopefully everything works smoothly. If it doesn't, we'll figure it out as we go. Number 1. This one popped up recently, actually. Intentionally make plans, not just ideas of plans. That's something I have a really hard time with. I'm not used to having people around me, and so when I moved here and we had a bunch of friends, it's kind of like I was just comfortable doing my own thing. You know, I had Jackie in Ohio, but we only saw each other occasionally because we worked opposite hours. I saw my folks occasionally, but those were visits versus like planning events and things or activities to do with one another. And so, you know, Matthew and I are kind of the same, where we're both just like, yeah, we just go about our pace. If something seems like fun to try, we'll go ahead and try that. We don't think too far in advance as far as like activities to do. We're just kind of taking it day by day, and the people around us do not like that. So we were like, all right, we gotta, you know, make them feel appreciated in the friendship. They'd go out of their way to make plans and to host things, so we gotta do the same. We gotta go out of our way to make plans and do things. Plus, then it's just good. Plus, it helps you be intentional about exploring the area. We're in a whole new state, and even though we've been here for almost a year, there's still so much to check out. So being intentional encourages us to like actually make times and days to do those things rather than saying, oh, we'll wait until the time is right, or wait till we have money. We'll talk about that a little bit later. So something for me to do in 2025. Spin. Do the streams that seem fun and be okay with them failing, but don't decide that they will. We talked about Twitch a little bit earlier. I'm just gonna keep doing things that seem fun. I like sitting in a bathtub. I like cooking. We're gonna try and do cooking ones still. The trouble is I have to figure out the setup. My kitchen's very, very tiny, and I need all the counter space because I like to. I have a system. I have an organized way that I cook, or try to. But I think we can still pull it off. I have a couple of stream ideas still that we're just gonna do, and we're gonna put in the effort to make them happen. And if they fail, okay, but it won't be because I didn't try, right? Or it won't be because I just gave up on it. So do the streams that seem fun and be okay with them failing, but don't decide that they will. That's one of the biggest things that I do that keeps me from, you know, making plans or trying things or pursuing hobbies or whatever, is I'm like, well, it's gonna fail anyway, so why waste the time? You know, I was definitely one of those kids that it was like, if I wasn't good at it, they didn't want me to do it, or it was discouraged from me continuing it. So I was like, okay, if I'm not good at it, I should give up. But I mean, I'm not a kid anymore. I don't have my youth to think about. You know, saying I'll wait until later is a perk of the young, and as I continue to not get younger, it's like I'm not gonna just rely on that anymore. I should just do the things I want to do. Sell/let things go. Boy howdy. Nothing tells you how much shit you have like having to move it all. My God. We're gonna be here for a bit. We're probably gonna be here until 2026. But packing up everything, filling that U-Haul, and then unpacking and moving everything in. Granted, One of the reasons we had it seem like a lot is because A, there is a lot, but B, we used smaller boxes so that way it was easier for me to lift them, because before we used like the large boxes, but then I didn't have the arm strength or bandwidth or wingspan to like actually lift them, so we used smaller boxes so I could lift them. But my god, packing everything, and I felt like I was doing good about packing. I was like, oh yeah, we're on track, we're on schedule, I'm gonna be fully packed, I'm ready to move by the time we get ready to go. Every time I say this, and while there was some stuff prepared, there was also like a lot of last minute shit that you don't think about, and then I'm like, oh my god, we gotta sell some of the stuff. So this year I'm gonna try and sell things. I'm gonna see if there's a flea market or if they would let me do like a yard sale thing here so I can just sell stuff. It can be for cheap, it's fine, I don't need to make money off of it. But it's just like, let it go somewhere where it's gonna get used, not just sit here and collect dust. I have too many things. People keep giving me things and I don't understand why. I appreciate it, it's so sweet. I don't deserve it. And also my apartment is too small. There's no room for the stuff. Keep saying yes to things. That's something I feel like I did pretty good at. That's why it says keep saying. These are also things I want to continue doing in 2025. Find a Goodwill that you can donate to. That's true. I can just donate that shit. I can't believe I forgot about that. There's literally a Goodwill like a hop, skip, and a stone's throw away from me. Let me just donate it all. Right? It's like, there's too much. I have what's important. Just donate it. Just sell it. Just give it away to people. Like, I just don't need it. There's too much. Keep saying yes to things. That's something I did pretty good at this year. Like I said, I get pretty shy and reserved about people and spending time with them, especially if I feel like they think some type of way about me. Whether they do or not, that's not important. I would be invited out to do things, and I would actually, like, commit to going out to doing them, even when I was like, oh no, I just want to curl up in a ball and stay put. I would still do that sometimes if I needed it, absolutely. But I pushed myself more to just be like, okay, let's go out, let's do that. Now I want to push myself to do that, but maybe in a more independent fashion, where things will be a little bit more relaxed and a little less scrutinized. I don't know if that's the word, but I'm gonna try and push myself to just, for 2025, I'd like to go out and do things that I say I'm going to do. Like, there's like, on my way to work, there's this crab shack that I'd like to go to. Just go to it. There's an antique store, just go to it. You know, it'll be a nice foggy day, or the weather will be nice, I can go pictures, and I'm like, oh, I should go do that, and then I don't do it. Just do it. Just go do it. It's fine. It's not, doesn't have to be your whole day, but just for the love of God, go out and do something. Otherwise, because then I'm sat there and I'm like, oh, I just wasted this day. Don't waste the day then. Jiminy Driminy. What is it they say? Tomorrow isn't promised? Just do it. Keep reading. Yay! We love us some good reading. Audiobooks as well. I don't do audiobooks a whole lot just because I get distracted way too easily. Because like I can't just sit and listen to an audiobook. I'll have to be doing things, and if I'm doing things, I'm not paying attention to the audiobook as well. But I read a grand total of 5 books this year. I'm slowly getting done with one that I've been reading for months and months and months. It's like 1,038 freaking pages, and I'm 800 pages in, so we're getting there. We're taking our damn sweet time, but I read 4 books. 5. I read 5 because I finished my 5th one not too long ago. Let me see what I read today. Or not today, this year. Let's look at that grand total. Alright. Oh, hold on. I forgot, I redid some of my ratings, so I have to remember. Okay, here we go. I read The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. I gave it 4 stars. I had a good time reading it. I thought the twists were nice. I thought the writing was simplistic enough that it didn't take me forever. Writing doesn't have to be simple to be enjoyed, but if I can't read it in my head, I feel like I get frustrated. This was easy for me to read in my head, so it made sense. Our Little Secret by Kirsten Modglin. I gave it 3 stars. Again, not bad. I feel like I'm very lenient. I actually updated a lot of these stars before. So like before I gave The Housemaid 5, I lowered it to 4. Before I gave Our Little Secret 4, I lowered it to 3. Lot of interesting character dynamics. I had a good time with the mystery. Again, another pretty easy read, so I'm on board with it. 300 pages, so heck yes. I just read The Silent Patient. I gave it 3 stars. Again, just a little over 300 pages. Very nice. I enjoyed it. Some people were saying it was a bit too slow. I guess it kind of was, because they were like hauling ass in the last 30 pages of the book. So I was like, ooh, okay, there you go. I read Fractured by Karen Slaughter. Karen Slaughter is one of those ones that's pretty easy to read. I feel like if I've read one book of hers, I've read them all, but they're an interesting enough thriller, and I like the characters enough that I don't mind like going through them if I just want like something that's not in front of a screen and something I can just like keep my mind engaged with. Karen Slaughter will do just fine. I give it 3 stars. And then I feel like I may have pulled that in from a different year, but that's okay. I read The Shining finally. I gave that 4 stars. I thought that was pretty good. I liked both the ending of the book and the ending of the movie. I thought they were both pretty stellar. I still probably wouldn't mind reading the sequel to it. What's it called? Dr. Sleep? I wouldn't mind reading that. I enjoy the character. I think the Overlook Hotel is very, very cool. Very, very creepy. I would like to keep reading some more Stephen King. I hear he's got some pretty popular short stories out there, so it might be worth checking those out. But I give it 4 stars. I would recommend. I think I just have 2 more. This one may have actually been last year, but it popped up for this year, so I could be wrong. The Final Girls Support Group by Grady Hendrix. Grady Hendrix is fine for me. Again, 3 stars. It was easy read, under 400 pages. The author always has like a couple of moments that are like weirdly emotional. When I say weirdly emotional, it's because I don't picture these texts having emotional scenes like that. They just feel like thrill rides, good horror references, murder, all that type of not murder, but like supernatural type stuff, slasher type things. It's called The Final Girl Support Group. And just this one and My Best Friend's Exorcism, also by Grady Hendrix. I gave that one 4 actually. Both of them have just random moments of emotional pull that always kind of caught me off guard, so I think that's why I enjoy them. And then the last one I read, or the first one I read maybe, I don't remember, was The Mysterious Stranger, Mark Twain. I gave it 5 stars. 122 pages of short stuff analyzing the human nature and the audacity of calling animals and saying, like, that's animalistic, and Satan gets all upset because he's like, how can you say that about animals when it's like, that's part of their character. They don't do good or wrong. Humans have the capacity for good and bad, and they still choose to do bad, so how can we, judge animals for their actions or use them as, like, criticisms or anything like that? I think those are the books I read. So I read 5 this year. Let's make my goal to read 7 next year. Let's get real crazy with it. But honestly, as long as I keep reading a little bit, I'll take it. Plus, we don't think about all the video game stuff that we read. I don't think about them like manga or whatever, the articles that I read. I read a lot of articles and research stuff. So, just keep doing that and keep trying to learn. Keep exercising. Yes, I go for walks pretty frequently. A, because I got a dog, and B, because I am a restless critter and I need to go for walks to sort out my emotions and calm down. So I do that, and then I started going to the gym. I haven't gone in about 3 weeks at this point, maybe 4, just because of holidays and traveling and running around and frankly not wanting to go because I'm tired and I just wanted to sit down. And I know it's going to be super busy at the beginning of the year with people like ready to go and people getting their health taken care of and thinking seriously about their health goals. So that's awesome. So I think I'll try and keep going for walks and maybe see if I can use the gym here or just track the hours of Planet Fitness. The issue is I can really only go on like Fridays, Saturdays, or Sundays because I have to cook when I get off work on Mondays. And, Fridays are takeout days usually, but I have to cook when I get off work on Mondays and Wednesdays. Matthew takes care of dinners on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but I don't get home until 8 or a little after 8. So it's like those are the only days I can really go because the gym, Planet Fitness, I'm going to check its hours, but I thought they used to be 24. And now I'm not so sure they are. I think they dropped down because I'm pretty sure it closes at 9 now, which blows my mind. So if I don't get off work till 8, it's like a 15-minute drive for me to get there. 45 minutes to maybe get the chance to work out or something. But let me see here. Ding ding bam 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 Yeah, so it closes earlier on those days. So, oh, okay, actually. So Monday through Thursday, Monday at 4 a.m. to 12 a.m., and then Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday are 24 hours, so I could go after work, but I get off at 8, and I just want to eat and head home, so I'm not going to push it if I can't do that. Fridays, it's open till 9, and then Saturday and Sunday, it's open till 9. We'll see. Okay, I'm back. So keep exercising. Again, doesn't have to be anything crazy, just any little bit that I do to like take care of my health, I would say is good enough. Going for walks and stuff, being a little bit mindful about what I eat. We're gonna be drinking significantly less in the new year because I want to see what it does for my skin and hair and my body before the wedding, mostly. So we'll do that. We'll keep that in mind. We'll only drink probably on like special occasions. So if we choose to do a drunk by daylight or if I go out or something, but I'm gonna try not to just have alcohol around the house as much. So just keep working on my health a little bit, I guess, or keep exercising. Oh, this is such a good one. Recognize what is a temporary worry. So Matthew had to help me with this yesterday because I was feeling, surprise, surprise, overwhelmed about finances and feeling guilty about trying to have a wedding and being like, oh my gosh, I'm not working enough, even though I am. I'm working, close to 50 hours. It's like, that should be fine, but, welcome to the economy. And so I'm like, I feel like stupid and selfish for trying to have a wedding, and like we're one emergency away from it all being bad and us not being okay. And I was like spiraling and being like, what if you're gone and we can't, like I can't afford to pay the bills because I don't make enough at my job and all this, that, and the third. And he just kind of let me go through it and let me go for my walk and calm down and came back in. He was like, yeah, we have a lot of stressors, but a lot of these are realistically temporary worries. Credit card debt, we're paying that off. It's fine. A wedding, it's just going to be an expensive thing until September next year and then it's done. We don't have to think about that financially anymore. Student loans, I'm going to be paying student loans off for the rest of my life, but, realistically or I guess possibly, they could get completely paid off. It doesn't mean I'll have to pay them for the rest of my life. It's unlikely, but it's possible. And then health-wise, we'll just cross that bridge when we get there, but no use making a problem out of something that doesn't exist just yet, So recognize what's a temporary worry. It's going to be stressful paying for this wedding, but we want to have a wedding. I deserve to have a wedding. It's not a big deal, and it's the finances stuff will get paid off for it after it's done, so it's okay. We'll have it covered. Spin. Stop waiting for the right time to do something. We were just talking about this. Stop delaying doing things. That includes doing streams for me or hobbies or anything. Obviously, finances you have to be aware of, but stop being like, oh, I'm in the position, but I'm a little bit too tired, so maybe not today. Like, start making some concrete plans. Otherwise, these things are just going to be gone. They're just going to pass you by before you know it, right? And it's nice to do these things. It's nice to, actually commit to crossing things off a list. Like in my Google Maps, I have a whole bunch of locations saved that I'm like, oh, I'd like to check this out one day. Just go check it out or make a plan to check it. If it's something that's going to cost money, make a budget for it. I'm not saying it's going to happen right away, but like maybe 6 months, however long down the line, you can actually do it. Again, it's not always feasible. We know money's shit. You can't leave the house today without spending $60. It feels like 60's the new 40, right? Keeping that in mind for when I hit that age, God forbid. But stop waiting for the right time. Make it the right time. Decide what's more important to me, losing this day and delaying this thing, or just going ahead and doing it and seeing if it was like a worthwhile experience, Call my family more. Yes, I know we lose touch with family. I message them pretty much every day. I talk to my sister pretty much every day messaging. But I'd like to call and talk with them some more, especially my dad. He's not much of a texter. My mom is. My dad, not so much. I'd like to just call and talk to them a little bit more, especially now that we're so far away. It was really nice getting to see them for that weekend. I might see if next time maybe we can stay a couple of days longer, so we get to like have that time, because it was a quick turnaround. We got there on Friday, was there Friday and Saturday, and left Sunday morning. So it's like a day and a half that we're there. And that makes me sad because I miss them a lot. And I know they miss having us there, especially since, Cesar and I both don't live in Ohio anymore. So, The move was good, but I wish that I could convince all my family to just move to Maryland as well. I think I can wear my sister down eventually. We'll see. Just call my family more. Messaging is good and all, but when your papa wants to hear your voice, you give him a call. Spin. Hustle for a little at work. Well, I was talking about this a couple of minutes ago. We're in a really busy part of the season where it's going to be like, hey, we've got clients that are wanting to do lots of other intakes. We've got people who are now motivated to take care of their mental health, New Year's resolutions and all that stuff, or they've had the holidays and they're like, the holidays were rough, I need a little support because I don't want to go through that again. So I'm snagging any type of clients that I can get. I'm like, send them over my way. You know, I work with a pretty broad age range. I see kiddos and adults from ages 10 up to 60. I can go above 60. I'd rather not go below 10 though. Younger kids are a challenge, and I worked with a lot of young kids in Ohio, and that was fine in some cases and disheartening in other cases when it's like, I'm telling you parents what you need to do to help your child, or we're working through this together, and you're still not like following through. And because then they get frustrated and they're like, my kid's been seeing you for 2 months, why aren't they better by now? And I'm like, well, have you done these things at home? And they're like, well, I tried, but it just doesn't work. And it's like, kids are smart. If they know they can wait you out and you'll just give up and do what they want, they will absolutely wait you out. It's fine. They will push and push and push, so you just have to keep pushing back, and it gets a little frustrating. But anyway, I digress. So hustle for work for a little bit. Keep pulling to get those new clients. I send out emails to admin being like, hey, these are the time slots that I have available. You know, I have some bi-weekly openings. Let's get them back on board. You know, if a therapist is leaving, that like gives a red flag to me. Nothing against the agency, but just because of the Ohio stuff where it was like, you know, with Ohio, we're going through therapists weekly. And so every time they're like, yeah, so-and-so's retiring or so-and-so's leaving, I'm like, oh my God, it's happening again. I've been tricked. I can't have a caseload of 80 again. I'm not strong enough. It's not got to that, and it won't get to that, but it's just something to think about. So I'm snagging. I'm like, give me those clients. I'll fit them. I'll rearrange my caseload. I'll make it happen. I'm trying not to add any more hours. I don't want to work any more evenings. I work 3 evenings already, and I don't want to work weekends. If I have to, I will. I would rather do short-term therapy on the weekends, though, because then I don't have to do weekends forever. Because it's more important to me that I spend time with my family. Hale said, that's how my child was this year with potty training, LOL, and now she's 100% potty trained. Exactly. Kids are so much smarter than we give them credit for sometimes. They know how to game the system. If they're like, oh, mommy wants me to do this, well, I don't want to do that. And I bet I can irritate mommy enough that she gives up. You can't give up. That's what those little shits want. God love them. Kids are great. That's what they want. Don't let them, Hales, don't let them break you. And now she's 100% potty trained. That's so good, though. Saves money on diapers. I know you're happy about that. Absolutely. Ooh, spite is a great motivator. Lean into it. Her dad gave up, but I didn't. Absolutely. Oh, she's going to remember that. Well, not the potty training necessarily, but that spirit where it's like, oh, this other person gave up on me, and you're like, absolutely not. Hales, you're like, I've been through enough. I'm not going to lose a potty training battle to a toddler. Excuse me? Absolutely not. Go you badass mama. Spite is a great motivator. Lean into it. I work my best when I'm angry, to be quite frank. Angry at myself or angry at somebody else, whatever it is, I'm like, fuck you, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna get it done, fine. I need to lean into that a little bit more. Sometimes I get caught in the cycle of ruminating, so I'm like, this thing pissed me off, this thing made me angry, this thing made me anxious or uncomfortable, and I just sit there thinking and thinking and thinking, and it's like, just do in spite of it then, okay? They're saying you're not doing this enough, fuck you, we'll do it this way, or, you know what, I'm gonna pull back because I'm trying my hardest here and it's never good enough, and so I'm not going to put my efforts anymore where they're not appreciated, right? Or, you know, I'm telling myself that I'm not going to succeed at this thing. Fuck you, I'm going to try anyway. I may not succeed, but at least I gave it a go. I love me some spite. It really is one of my better qualities. That and my vengeful streak, I get that from my mother. Those are some pretty good qualities of mine. I think they could carry me far if I trained them a little bit more. Spin! Raid, don't worry about numbers, Hales. This is good for you and I. If you do more live content and stuff, I would raid out occasionally, but I didn't raid out nearly as much as I should have. and I didn't raid out to nearly enough new people as I need to. I get a little nervous about raiding out to people I don't know because we had a bad experience where I directed Bliss to raid somebody, but they were in the middle of some type of episode and were saying some pretty horrible things, and I was like, oh my god. So I get a little nervous about that because I'm like, I don't want to raid out to somebody who's horrible, you know? Or unstable, frankly. And then, but then I'm not, like, showing support for people. And I wouldn't raid out also because I'm like, oh, my numbers aren't great, and all my friends pull more numbers, and so I feel embarrassed when I'm raiding out with, like 3 people, which is not nothing. That's still 3 people that showed up. That's fucking huge. To people who, like, pretty consistently have, like, you know, higher numbers. And so I'm like, oh, that's a little embarrassing. Like, what if they don't want me raiding them because it, like, harshes their vibe or whatever, you know, like bigger streamers. They want raids from bigger streamers because then it's like we're making progress versus smaller streamers. They're like, hi, what do you want? You want a shout out? So that worries me. Not that any of my friends would be like that. None of my Twitch friends would do that, but you know. Relly! Speaking of raiders, Relly is so good at raiding and so encouraging about stream and raiding and focusing not on numbers. It's so good to see you. I wonder if I can do shout outs on my phone. Let me see. I don't think I can, but let's try. Hey Relic, give yourself a shout out, okay? Because it needs to be connected to the cloud bot thing, that's right. It's so good to see you, Relic. Thank you for being here. Oh my gosh. We're doing our recap. This is our list of 25 things to do and think about. I can go through, I'll go through the list again by the end, but yeah, I don't care about numbers. I'm there to have a good time, and if others have a good time too, that's what's important for me. Exactly. I would get embarrassed. I was telling Chad, I was like, I get embarrassed because I have pretty low numbers usually, and I feel bad raiding into people who are trying to grow and are trying to do, like, trying to make their streams better, and I'm like coming over here like, hey, do you mind if I come on over? And hope you don't mind me coming here. It doesn't matter. Nobody gives a fuck. It's fine. I don't even know what my numbers are until I raid in. Yeah, I don't see them until I'm raiding in. I have my numbers hidden until I raid. But then I see it, and I'm like, oh, because when you go to, like, Twitch, can you hide that on Twitch? Because that's how I raid out from. Because I'd really rather not see that. I don't have them pulled up on my Streamlabs or anything else. I keep that shit hidden because it's just not good for me to see it. I turned that off, I think probably the beginning of streaming, because I would be looking at it. But then when I raid out, I'm like, oh gosh, I feel so bad. But nobody cares. It's fine. It goes back to the whole, this is so unserious, it's streaming, it doesn't matter, just do it. You can raid out from your chat in Streamlabs. Okay, I'll learn how to do that. But Relly, do you have any highlights of 2024 that you want to share with us? We want to hear about them. As well as, and Hales, you can feel free to chat away about this too. Things that you're looking forward to in 2025. I would say growth in raising money for charity. Your birthday trip in March. Did you tell us where you were going yet? I don't remember if you told us. Yeah, you grew a hell of a lot, Relic. Not just numbers-wise, but like your content's really doing so good these days. You seem very happy and very confident with what you're doing. And yay, charity. I'd like to do some charity stuff for Twitch next year. I gotta learn how to do that. I know Peach was also saying he wanted to try and do some, so maybe I'll try and hound a couple people into all doing the same charity thing. And we can kind of do like shifts, so somebody's raising money for the charity on Monday, then they raid out to somebody else, and Tuesday, this is this person's schedule, and we can make it a structure of some kind. Maybe it's like multiplayer games, or we pick one game and that's the game that we use to try and like inspire or whatever. I don't know, we'll find out. Maybe we could do like an indie charity raise thing. We play indie games, might be fun. With my team I was in, we raised almost 5K, but on my own I raised 500. That's insane. That is not easy to do. 500 is not slim buckaroos these days, and almost 5K is insane. You should be very proud of yourself. Yay, North Carolina hails. That'll be fun. Make sure to pick what types of foods you want to get. Think about restaurants. That's the first thing I think about whenever we're talking trips. I'm like, all right, where am I going to eat and when am I going to eat? Because I get a little cranky if I'm not being fed. I got to know about these things. And then places you want to check out. I'm going solo. And I have, trust me, that's right. That's right. It's like, I need to know where all the good shit is. Also, good for you. Solo trip. Travel safely. Okay. We're going to expect check-ins in the Discord. Proof of life. If I don't hear from you, I'm sending out a SWAT team or something, alright? Don't you hide from me. I'm going to be worried. Look back to see progress. Okay. So this is another one of those things where I can get down on myself. I can get down on myself in terms of my, like, anxiety and my mood. Where I'll be like, oh my god, how am I still anxious about these things? Or, oh my god, like, I still get depressed, or I still get angry, and I don't want to get angry like this anymore. I don't want to get depressed like this anymore. And then I think back, I have to, like, remind myself, I'm like, you know, there was a time where you were like this every single day, and you were like this for what? An hour today? A couple hours a day? Like, that's progress right there, that it's not, you know, consistent every single day of every single week of every single month. I'll share pics. Excellent. Very good. Like I said, if I don't hear from you, I'm sending out a search team, okay? The search party will be on the premises. Sup, Scrubs? Duffy, it's so good to see you. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Thank you for being here. We're going through 25 things to do and think about for 2025. How are you, W? Do you have any 2024 highlights that you want to share with us? Hales shared about daughter getting potty trained, getting her driver's license, and starting her divorce. And then Relly shared about growth in terms of Twitch, and then raising some money for charity. She raised almost $500 on her own for charity, and for the team that she was on, they raised almost 5K. So holy shnikes. If you have any highlights, we'd love to hear about them, and also things that you're looking forward to or wanting to do for 2025. But look back to see progress. I have to remind myself, in undergrad, I was in like, oh my gosh, I was just miserable. I was just so pissy the entire time. I was so sad and so depressed, which led to a lot of irritability. So I was treating people poorly. I was treating myself poorly. I was pretty actively suicidal. And then I got to today, or not today, like present day, where I'm like, oh, if I'm having a bad day or something, I'm like, oh my gosh, how can I be doing this? And I have to look back and be like, do you remember where you were like 5 years ago? Like, you're doing pretty damn good, because you were in a really rough spot and you've not been in that spot in a long time. So any blips of like depressive spells or anxiety or anger, it's like, that's a blip. That doesn't mean you've not made progress. It's, what is it they say? Progress isn't linear, because it's not. You're gonna have those blips. Sometimes it's gonna be weeks of blips or a really bad month, but if it's not every single day of your entire existence, that's progress. You failed your SRO final. Oh, I'm sorry. That must have been frustrating. But I came out with an RO license instead. It's beaten me down for a few months, but I think I'll be happier in the end. W, that's huge. RO is reactor operator. Thank you. I was just getting ready to ask that. You know I don't know acronyms or generally about most things. Mango, hi. Thank you for being here. Can y'all raise money for my sneaker addiction? I don't see why not. What type of sneaks you want? Drop them in the Discord. We'll raise money for your sneaks. Do you like them Pumas or New Balances? Those are the only sneakers like Nike. I know Nike. Mango, do you have any highlights of 2024 that you want to share with us? Or things that you're looking forward to in 2025? You're just a Nike guy? Okay. We'll get you the fresh Nikes. The kicks, as the kids say. Do the kids still call them kicks, or do they call them... I don't know. I'm not familiar with the youth slang. The youngest person in chat, let us know. Girl, you've grown so much too. I have, Relic, haven't I? We talked about that in the beginning of stream, where I was like, you know, it's not just numbers. And by the way, we did still get, like, an impressive amount of followers this year. But, like, I just feel, like, sitting here right now, I'm like, but we're much more confident when we're streaming. Like, numbers regardless, I'm not as avoidant or jittery. Like, I can just ramble. That's why I love these things. I don't have a game in front of me. I was talking about that earlier, how I don't like to play games on stream as much anymore. It's different if they're multiplayer. I'd still rather not be streaming them. Drunk by Daylight, Dead by Daylight stuff is fine, but when it comes to anything like Lethal Company or Phasmo, I'm like, ooh, I better not. You should be, thank you. They still call them kicks. Okay, thank you, Mingo, I appreciate that. You second this, thank you, Hales. I feel like I'm a little bit more comfortable and a little bit more confident. It took 3 years, but damn it, 3 years is progress. When I'm serious, like earlier this year, I was like, I gotta give up. I suck so much at this. I feel so nervous every time. I just want to give up, and then I didn't, and I kept going. So fuck yes, dude. And next year is gonna be even better. We're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep trying. Absolutely. You've been with Gussie for 3 years, and her growth is inspiring. You better stop it. Same. Followage. One day, I promise you, I'm gonna have that followage command set up. Growth is slow, guys, okay? I haven't figured out a lot of the basic things that people should just have figured out, like followage commands. I had them for like a brief shining moment, like a picture thing, a little froggy would pop up whenever somebody followed or subbed, and it would be like, woohoo! I had that for a brief shining moment. It's gone now. I don't know where it went, and I don't know how to get it back. I'll figure it out one day. In the meantime, this is what we got. This year, you also bought a house? Oh, and in the upcoming year, we'll be welcoming a baby girl. Oh my God, Tavia. Oh, that's so exciting. Mad props to getting a house, and congratulations on the impending arrival of your child, your daughter. That's really exciting. Oh my goodness. If you click on your name, it tells you usually, okay, thank you, Hales. God, what'd I do without you guys? You know more about how to stream than I do. In the 3 years that I've been doing it, I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how you click that. About to be 3 years this March. Guys, some of you have been with me since like the beginning. And that you still pop by, that makes me feel real special. I appreciate it. I really do. But, so yeah, look back to see progress. My streams have definitely improved. I was telling chat earlier today, I was like, we set this up in record time. I had the fewest amount of technical difficulties I've ever had setting up a bathtub stream. I had plenty of time. I'm also less rushed. If I'm running like behind, it used to freak me out. Like I was like, I'm supposed to start right at 4. Oh my gosh. And now I'm like, it's 4:05. All right. Well, let me just make sure I have this, because you're going to, in the end, save more time if you take your time to make sure it's done right versus rush and then have a bunch of tech problems. So it's like, we figured it out. This is the smoothest the setup's ever gone, and I think it looks pretty good. Like, we got a fucking light. I'm sat here in a tub. We're drinking Prosecco. We're having a good time. We're killing it. Oh my gosh. You guys are doing good, though. W, that's huge news. Spin. Take more photos at night. Oh, so the past few weeks we've had some rainy nights. And with the changes in temperature, however it works, don't ask me. We've had a little bit more fog, so I've been going out trying to get some fog shots. I'm reacquaint myself with my camera settings, because it had been a bit since I took some pictures, so trying to dust that off. I'd love to go out and take more pictures at night. I want to see if I can hornswoggle, and I may ask him to, see if I can hornswoggle Matthew into driving me around one night and just stopping at places so I can get pictures, because I love a good street lamp. Ooh-hoo! I love a good neon sign. I love a good flickering light. And where I work, it's close to a laundromat, and it has this green and white sign that says laundromat, and before it would flicker like a yellow, like it had a bulb that was dying. Oh, laundromats, God. I love those little like lo-fi looking photos, you know, with the neon lights, like synthwave backgrounds. So take more pictures at night. It's such a quiet, peaceful time. I love it, especially with the fog on. You know, I was out there walking around taking photos at night with the Silent Hill soundtrack playing in the background, living my dream. I had my little color filters that we use. So I had like my red ones and my green one and my purple one and my blue one. I had them all. I was trying to take all sorts of cool pictures. I don't think any of them turned out great, but it was fun. And I wonder if, like, down the road, I'm going to look back at them and be really pleased with how they were, actually. Just get a little distance, because I'm, you know, to the surprise of absolutely no one, I can be critical of my photography, and I'm like, you should have done this differently, you idiot. And then I show it to someone, and they're like, oh, I like that one. I'm like, Photos at night, you trying to get snaps of them UFOs? Listen, get me one of those big-ass camera lenses that lets you get clear pictures of the sky. Mm-hmm. Yup, I'm gonna go get them UFO shots. Chat, the way I wouldn't show anybody my UFO photos before I showed you guys. So, I'm gonna make a pact with you, pinky promise. If I ever get any pictures of any cryptids or UFOs or spookables, chat, you get to see them first before anybody else. I'll share them with you before the government hauls me away. Night photography can be a lot of fun, says the photographer. Shadow! Hi, baby! Hey, if you have any tips, I'm not super technical with cameras, which is something I can always improve on. I would love to improve on that. I forget how to do things with my camera, and so if you have any tips for settings or anything, please send them my way. I hold you to that, Gus. For now, I'm gonna hit the sack. Good night, Mango. Thank you so much for popping in and spending some time with us. Happy New Year. I hope your 2024 was spectacular, and that the start of your 2025 is even better, okay? Oh my gosh. Yes, Happy New Year. Can't believe we made it through 2024, dudes. So take more photos at night. I'd like to do that. It's just so cool and peaceful. I'm straying away because I used to be strictly landscape, like having my camera like this. Now I like to shoot in vertical portrait mode. It's so cool to look back to see progress, looking at number 13. It's crazy to see how my editing style and my preference of shooting has changed over the years. I got a lot of criticism from a previous employer I had, which I shouldn't have been doing that job because it was a marketing job, so I was taking photos from marketing the university on social media. I didn't like it. I wasn't very good at it, so I feel bad about that. But I got a lot of criticism because my photos would be oversaturated or my editing wasn't to par. I thought it looked good. It's funny when I look back on that now where I'm like, oh gosh, yeah, you're right. But that's just part of growing and learning, you know? Try it again. I posted a UFO pic in the Discord. Perfect. Hales, is this your personal UFO picture? Because the government's going to be after you. I'll try my best to protect you, okay? Don't save the Polaroids for the right shot. So I have this cute little Fujifilm Instamax camera. I think it was one of Matthew's first gifts he'd ever got me. It was a Christmas gift. I love it to pieces. I love a good film photos. They have the charm of, even if they're shot poorly, to still be delightful. We went bowling a few weeks ago with some friends, and I have this picture. It's pretty classic. It's of the rack of the balls, and I have a friend that's standing there. I was trying to get a shot of her because she bowled, and she got a strike. She either got a strike or missed completely. It was one of the two. And she jumped, and I was trying to get the photo of her with her jumping and her arms in the air. So you see the rack, but the rest of the photo is dark. Then I found out if I hold it in the light just right, I can see her like floating ominously from it, because I caught her in the jump, I guess, where her arms are down, but she's still in the air. And so she's like floating ominously. You have to like hold it in the light to just see her silhouette. Polaroid photos just have the perfect charm of being like, even if it's shot completely to shit, like it still looks so good. I still have so much fun with it. I would like to try some double exposure stuff if I can get like a fancier film camera at some point. I'll figure it out. So don't save the Polaroids for the right shot, because I had so much film left for that, but then I'm like, no, I should save these because it's expensive and there's just a few of them and I should save them for the right, just do them. Just take the fucking shot. What do you mean wait for the right time? You've missed so many right times. Just do it. I have so much film for my Polaroid. Pretty sure they're expired. Just don't shake them. Don't shake them. I had to tell Matthew that. I was like, you're not supposed to shake it like a Polaroid picture. Hey, y'all lied to us. Ooh, shoot with expired film, Shadow. Even expired film still gets really cool shots. Or when somebody accidentally reloads a film they've already shot on, and then that's that double exposed where it's like they're shooting over pictures that they've already taken. Like, it just has the charm of, no matter what to me, still feeling really beautiful. So shoot with the expired film. So cool. Hans, good to see you. Good afternoon, Miss Gussie Games. How are you? Good Tuesday. Oh, I'm doing wonderfully. Thank you so much for being here. You have to click on your name, Hans, because I don't have the thing. I don't have the followage command. We just had a whole thing about this, about how I don't know how to set up stream stuff still. Yes, Relly, give all the shout outs if you can. It may not work because I think my cloud bot is off. Let me see, actually. No, I can't fix that. Go follow Shadow and Relic and everybody else who streams, okay? My cloud bot isn't on. I know, I'm so sorry. Oh gosh. You shake them all the time. That's okay, Relic. You can shake them if you want. You can shake it, baby. Hans, how are you? Do you have, but this works. Excellent, Relic. You got it. You got it. Hans, do you have any, 2024 highlights or goals for 2025 that you want to talk about? We'd love to hear about them. Shadow, did you share your 2024 highlights? Tell us some of your highlights here if you can, and or some of the stuff you're looking forward to in 2025. I'd like to get me a fancier film camera other than the Instamax that I have. You gotta let me help you with this. I know, you've offered so many times. You're like throwing yourself, you're like, here, I can help you. I know how to set that up. Let me help you. And I'm like, you're so right. You should help me. And then I just don't reach out about it. That's me. That's me. That is 100% a me problem because I'm stubborn and I'm like, I should just figure it out on my own. But Grandma Gussie here doesn't understand technology. Frankly, it's a miracle we get live to begin with, okay? I'll hit you up though. We'll make it happen. We'll make it happen. So I'd like to try and get a fancier film camera so I can get some cooler shots. I want to learn to I desperately want to learn to develop film. I have written down, I've done the research, I've written down the whole process, the times for everything, all the equipment I need. I just keep delaying buying any of the equipment because of money. We'll talk about that. I'd like to not do that as much because you can budget for these things. It'll just take me like a couple of months to get everything. That's fine. I don't mind that. But then between paying for the wedding, there's not a whole lot of money left, so we're doing our best. Me? I've worked on my mental health a lot this year, and I've stepped out of my comfort zone by streaming. That's huge, Shadow. Way to go. Way to work on your mental health. Get that done. Proud of you. Yes, everybody. Hey, honestly, everybody who made it through 2024, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah, we did it. That's impressive. They said we couldn't. Even the voices in our head said we couldn't, but we did. 2025! So, Relic, that was just a command to talk about the stream today. That's all that was. It's because my Streamlabs, so I use Streamlabs, and I don't have my cloud bot on that's linked with Streamlabs to run my commands, so none of them are working. That's 100% my bad, because I don't think I can pull them up here. Let me see. Let me see. I don't think I can pull it up here. Streaming, no. No, because like I said, this is my hubby's computer. I'm so sorry, chat. There will come a day when I will have it all figured out, but it is not this day. Okay. Woo, spin! If you don't understand, look it up. I don't understand a lot of things. People talk very quickly, my brain thinks very slowly. That's why if we play video games together, I'm amazed. Like, when I was playing Obscure with Cap, he thinks so quickly and just instinctively knows where to go, and I'm just like taking in the room, so I'm like moving around. I'm like, oh my god, where am I? What buttons do I press to control the camera again? How do I shoot again? You want me to aim and shoot at the same time? Oh my god. So I think very slowly. And so a lot of times I had noticed in the past where I would just like passively take information, like they'd be like, it's this way, and I'd be like, okay. Or if somebody would laugh, I would laugh, and then I'd be like, I didn't actually understand the joke. So if I don't understand something, like I'm trying to look it up and be like challenging that instinct of me to just go along with it. Especially with humor, I've got much better at that, where I don't just laugh because if you're watching a show like a sitcom and they have a laugh track, or you're watching a comedian, you hear other people laugh, like I'm kind of being better about like, wait, did I actually understand that joke? I'm not sure I know what people are saying. So then I try and like educate myself or like look it up. What the hell's happening? I'll tell you what, your camera is really good. That shit is so clear. This is a really good camera. Lurk, making dinner. Go get that dinner, Shadow. It's a J5 Create 4K webcam that I got from, what's that place called? Micro Center? I've been using the same one for forever. Every now and then I would use my Canon camera if I wanted to like do a cooking stream or a baking stream, and I wanted that other angle so you guys could see. And I do love that Canon camera. Oh my gosh, it shoots beautifully. But this is reliable. I think the picture's really clear. I would recommend this camera a lot. It's just a little USB one, so It's not even like anything too fancy. It has its own like, it either came, I think it came with this tripod or I got it. Oh no, I just have it set on my Canon tripod actually, so it's just like a small little one. You can see it in the picture in Discord if you want, or on Twitter, but I would recommend. It's fantastic. It works really well with Twitch, or with it, yeah, Twitch as well. Ask yourself if you are happy with who you are before you ask others. I would like to continue. I use the Elgato face cam. You have a nice cam too, baby, though. Your whole stream is just like a feast for the eyes. It's so interactive. There's so many colors and things that things that pop up on the screen, and so many commands and so many like when you watch a stream, you get these points, so many points and point redeems that people can do with those. It's so juicy to watch your streams. You and Bliss, well done. And then, okay. I would put, and I'm trying to drift away from this, but I'm slipping back into those habits where I'm putting more weight on how others think about me than I think of me. And I'm like, nah, I don't want to do that, because then any insecurities I have, that's my business to work with. It's not good to seek support from other people or like validation from other people, because nothing they could say would ever work, right? Like, you feel it when they don't give you the validation, but you don't feel it when they do. So if you're like, oh my god, I feel ugly, and somebody's like, oh my gosh, you're beautiful though, it's like, thank you, but you don't agree with it. So it's like, okay, that's not working, why am I doing that? So I need to like think more for myself about what I think. So if I'm like, oh my gosh, did I do that okay? I want to challenge myself and be like, well, do you think you did okay? Don't like ask other people. Or if I feel like I'm not being a very good friend, don't ask other people to be like, how can I be a better friend? Just be a better friend, be a better employee, be a better whatever, this, that, and the third. Like, what do I think I need to do for myself, Spin! Get 10 new outfits. This one's kind of goofy, sat next to that one. I was going through my wardrobe, and with the exception of this corset, everything I own, not everything, probably like 85 to 90% of the clothes I own is Goodwill, and then the rest of it is stuff that was either gifted to me or I've had since high school. Not bad. I love me some Goodwill stuff, don't get me wrong. I love me some Goodwill. These jeans, admittedly, are from Walmart. They're from Walmart. Love, love, love that corset. I'm obsessed with it. I would love to buy more clothes from Disturbia. I have saved a bunch of things from there. But I'd like to get some like actual new outfits, because I was looking through my wardrobe and I'm like, I don't spend a whole lot of money. Yeah, you remember me looking it up. Yes! I don't spend a whole lot of money on my work clothes, which I'm okay with. I think I can easily from Goodwill get what I need for work. But like, I want to spend more on my personal wardrobe. I want to feel like I'm like actually put together and have a style and look like an adult, because sometimes I don't think I dress like an adult, which again is subjective and is whatever, but I'd like to feel more confident in the clothes I'm wearing, and a lot of the stuff I wear is things that I've just had for forever, and again, it's from Goodwill, and I love Goodwill. So then if I'm doing Goodwill, I need to be like a little more intentional about, does this fit the way I like it? Do I feel confident in this? Is the fabric flattering? All that good stuff or whatever, just so I feel like I'm making progress in my attire, because I'm wanting to just like do more for myself, I guess. Like, I feel guilty whenever I go shopping for myself or spend money on myself. I'm like, how stupid of you. Hence the wedding, the guilt with the wedding. I'm like, oh, that's so dumb, you're spending so much money on a wedding. And it's like, why? You're allowed to have a wedding. Stop. You shouldn't. I literally shouldn't. It's so not serious. It's not like I'm putting myself in debt, getting myself a shirt that's nice, or getting myself some jeans. I'm the worst about buying gym shoes. Oh my god, because I'm like, oh no, these will work. I had this one pair of gym shoes that I'd had probably for like 4 years. The bottoms were coming off, the insides were coming off. It was back when I worked in the city, and so I would just walk to work because it was like a 15-minute walk. And so then my feet would be soaked every time I got to work, and I would just deal with it. And I was like, no, it's fine. I don't need to get new shoes. I can make them work, or I'll just put some more tape on them or something. Matthew got fed the fuck up with me and went out and bought me new shoes. And at this point, that was 3 years ago. I really need to look at getting me some new shoes, but I just never do it. I'm like, no, they're fine. There's nothing wrong with them. Your feet are still covered. So I own, like, in total, I own 1 pair of gym shoes, 2 pairs of fancy shoes, Crocs, and I think I have some, like, galoshes maybe. All of these I've had for years and years and years and years and years and years. The most, like, the newest piece of footwear that I got is my thigh-high boots, and I got those still like 3 years ago. Like New York City? What do you mean? Oh, no. Like the city. So I lived in Dayton. I worked in downtown Dayton, and so I could just walk to work. My bad. Here's where my brain went. I was like, is New York City a type of shoe? Because I'm a moron, is what it is. I'm trying. So now I worked in downtown Dayton, and I would just walk to work because it was 15 minutes from where we lived, so I wasn't going to drive and spend the gas. So. Plus, they wouldn't pay for your parking. They wouldn't validate your parking. Cheap ass hoes. Glad I'm out of there, whatever. But I'm like, I want to be able to like get me some clothes and stuff and not feel guilty about it because I just want to feel pretty. I want to feel confident. I'm not going to have kids, so I gotta maintain myself. I gotta take care of myself for my husband, keep him interested. Come on. We talked about this a little bit, but go places on my own. I have no idea why that was mod checked. New York City was mod checked? What happened? Go places on my own. Now that we've been here for going on a year, I'd like to venture out and explore a little bit more. I know how to get places. I have my maps. I have my Matthew. So if I get lost, I can call him and we'll figure it out or something. Or I'll just figure it out. It's fine. Check out places that I'm like, yeah, I want to go here, but then I never do. Or I wait until somebody else wants to go with me. Don't do that. Just don't do that, you know. It's good to have friends, but I'd like to get more comfortable with just doing things by myself. Because I was very comfortable with that in Ohio. And then after the move, I lost that. So I'd like to get back to it. Just going on journeys. Twitch being Twitch. Just Twitch being a bitch, am I right? Can't stand her, the diva. Mods, just know I very much do appreciate you, though. That's why I'm going to North Carolina by myself. See, Hales, that is so inspiring. I really should go on, like, a trip by myself. I was planning to last year. I was gonna maybe go up to, like, Red River Gorge again and just, like, get a little cabin and stay there by myself. But again, I talked myself out of it. Because I'm like, I shouldn't spend the money, which I'm kind of glad I didn't because the move was expensive. It's fine. But after this wedding, I would like to actually like take myself on a trip. I've driven long distances before by myself. Like I drove from Ohio to Tennessee or Missouri. Like I've driven long distances by myself. That's fine. But like to get to other people versus I'm going here to be on my own. Maybe some of that's my paranoia because I'm like, yeah, I'm a woman and people are terrible to women in this country and most places, so I'm like worried about that. But like, I think I could avoid doing things that would put me in dangerous situations. It sucks that women have to think like that, but I think I could do that. I'm excited to hear about how your North Carolina trip goes, though, Hales. I bet you're going to have a Jim Dandy good time. Like you said you'll post pics in Discord. That better include food pictures as well. I need to live vicariously through you. I'm a huge fan of food. Have I eaten today? I have. I love that I ask you, chat. You're like, we don't know. We just got here, man. We don't know what you do on your days. Spin. Beat a Souls-like game. This would be fun to do. It's my birthday weekend, so I should. Yes. And yeah, all the foods and sceneries. Yay, birthday weekend! Oh my gosh, that's so huge. I hope you have such a fun time. Lots of beach and relaxing. Well, it'll be March, so maybe not beach, but maybe beach. You do whatever you fucking want. Take so many pictures. You should try Elden. That's what I'm thinking. Like, I'm getting the itch. I want to play Elden Ring so bad. I love watching people play Elden Ring. I love watching Larsa, Peach. I think Kat maybe played it. I love watching Matthew play it. I love watching people play Elden Ring. It's so beautiful. And I'm like, maybe I should just, like, beat an actual Souls game. We've tried Sekiro a couple times. And I think I could still do it. I get mixed information where people are like, no, Sekiro is so hard. Sekiro is, like, the hardest one to start with. And others are like, no, Sekiro's a rhythm game. Just, like, bounce with it and feel it. And every now and then I can tap into it and I can feel it. But typically in a game, I need it to be on easy mode so I can brute force my way through it and then heal after. But I'm like, maybe we do it. Maybe we just pick up Elden Ring and we just slowly, like, work our way through it, you know? Do we do that on stream or do I do that by myself? I don't know. Because I don't want the pressure and I don't like people are gonna have opinions about my builds and stuff, and I'm like, shut up, I don't know what I'm doing. I just want to be a little wizard with a sword, leave me alone. Me too. Gremlin is so good to watch. Okay, I'll check out Gremlin. Oh, I'm going to the beach, rain or shine. My first time ever. Oh, this will be your first time seeing the ocean. That's so special. You think I should stream it? Wow, Relic, you're twisting my arm, but if that's what you want. Plus, it's just, oh my god, it's beautiful to look at. That's why I love to watch people's builds, see their combat. The bosses are just stunning. The landscape's beautiful. So, I think we could do some Elden Ring streams and stuff. I'd be okay with that. But I am gonna need a guide in terms of like where to go. I'm happy to like do my own build and fail, all that stuff, but I worry I'm not going to know where to go because it's pretty like open world, right? I don't want to stumble into an area that I'm not supposed to be and then be like, well, where the hell am I supposed to be? The Souls community is so welcoming, yeah. You'll have lots of people to come and help and shit. Oh, okay, well maybe it'd be okay then. I don't know. We'll talk about that in 2025. Maybe it'd be worth it for us to do like a couple of all-day streams, like a Saturday. Like we'll do a couple of all-day Saturday streams, and I can still play some on my own, so I can like keep myself like good with the controls and aware with the controls and stuff. But like all-day Saturday streams where we just try and play Elden Ring, I'd be okay with that. If there's an intent behind it, I'm okay with that. You can go anywhere, but there are places that you should wait to go to that are higher level. So then I think maybe that's what I'll do, like find a map that's like, don't go here. You know, I don't mind like finding items on my own or like losing items or then being like, you didn't get this special item. That's fine. I'll make it work. A lot of times I forget that there are like upgrade systems. And so I'll be like brute forcing my way through games on like the lowest level possible and not elegantly, nothing to be, it's like stupid. I could be making it so much easier on myself. So things like that, like missing out on key weapons, while it could be helpful, I think it'd be fine. I just want to like level up and explore the game and learn the lore, because the lore of all the Souls-like games is so fucking cool. It's so cool. And I've never played any of them, and I think I should. So maybe we'll pick up Elden Ring. I'll check the price right now. I think the Steam Winter Sale is about to end, though. It ends on Thursday, right? I'll email Mr. Steam and say, hey, can you wait till Friday because I get paid on Friday? Mr. Steam, I have no money. They have a lot of nerve. They have a lot of nerve. Why don't you and the Hubs, a Steam family? Can you, my question about that is, can I be using games on his profile while he's on his profile too? Does that make sense? So like, can I play Elden Ring from his, oh my god, then I don't have to get it. Ooh, that's huge. And I can have like a separate save slot. He just can't play Elden Ring at the same time. That'll be fine. I thought because I was using something from his library, he couldn't be in his library. Because I'm Grandma Gussie and I don't understand how tech works. Yeah, your own save. Oh my god, chat, we could do this. We could save money and play Elden Ring. That's how Steam was in 2020. Thank you. I knew this came from somewhere. It's changed now. They've updated. Steam had a whole recap and grew. Way to go, Steam. That might be worth it to do then. It'll be fun. You guys will get to see me slowly wither. But you saw that with Sekiro. I felt bad about that 12-hour stream. It was supposed to be... So the 12-hour stream was supposed to be our all-day Sekiro stream because of a sub-goal. But then I caught food poisoning and was sick for like the whole night, and then the beginning of stream I was just miserable, but I was like, I can't cancel this 12-hour stream. So then like I couldn't play Sekiro for the full time because I was like nauseous and motion sick from the cameras. Do you guys remember that? What a shit show of a stream that was. I think it ended with us playing Capybara Spa though, so that was a pretty good end. But maybe we do it. Maybe we do some like Saturday 12-hour or like 9-hour Elden Ring streams. I'd be okay with that. Can't help you getting sick. Exactly. It can't be helped. I was just like, of course, it's like food poisoning. So stupid. I was so mad at myself. Ugh. Alright. If you feel on edge or like you're being evaluated every time you are with someone, it might be time to rework the relationship. So this comes down more to like, not Matthew, to be very clear. Matthew's freaking wonderful. I feel very secure with him and very safe around him. I've had like friendships in the past that I've thought about where every time I'm around this person or these people, whoever it is, I feel like they're, hi Pasta, hi handsome, oh my gosh, a Pasta sighting on New Year's. Cheers to you, Pasta. Would you mind sharing with us some of your highlights of 2024 or some of the stuff that you're looking forward to in 2025? But I'll have some people that I'm around them and I constantly feel like it's never enough. Like I'm not doing enough of the right thing or I'm doing this thing wrong. But my biggest pet peeves is when it's like, hey, I need you to do this. And so then I do that. And then it's, oh, but you didn't do that the right way or the way that I would have wanted. And I'm like, fuck, I got trapped. I got tricked. And so in some of my relationships in the past, I would feel like friendships, not romantic relationships. In some of my friendships in the past, I would feel very like I had to just like I had to put on a performance. I was like, if you say anything or talk in a way that they don't like, they're gonna notice it. Or if you don't make the decision the exact way that they like, which leads to me just being constantly agreeable because I'm like, oh, we can do whatever, we can go wherever, you can make the plans, because it's like when I try to, I make the wrong ones, and then it's a whole thing, and then I'm more stressed than I need to be about something that I was just giving you. So it's like kind of a thing that goes against the first one. So my first one on this list was be intentional about making plans. That included in friendships, like making my friends feel valued by being like, okay, we're gonna do these things, let's make these plans and whatnot. But then, in this case, I'm kind of like, but I feel on edge every time I do this. I feel anxious whenever I do this because I know there's going to be some criticism that you have or something I didn't do right. And then I have to like account for your criticisms. And maybe the thing is I should look at the relationship and decide how much power I want to let it have. Maybe I don't need to get upset about that. So it's like, okay, you're displeased with the way I did it. Well, you told me to do it, so I did it. If you are unhappy, you should have done it in a way you would have preferred, right? Like, I'm not going to deal with that stress. That's it. That's a you problem at that point. Don't put it on me. Highlights. Chilly date with you and Jackie, of course. South Dakota trip and meeting Candy. Yeah, you did go get to meet Candy, didn't you? I was following that journey or that conversation on Twitter between the two of you. South Dakota. I have a weird hatred for North and South Dakota. Not a genuine hatred. I just don't know why they exist. But was South Dakota beautiful? I bet it's beautiful. It's got to be mostly nature, right? And then the Chili's date with you and Jackie. Yay! Now I just need you to make the long journey so we can go to Chili's here, okay? It's just like, what, 9 hours from you? Easy peasy. Hop on over for a Chili's date. I remember that one. I was so mad at Jackie because she was like an hour late. She didn't mean to. It was just, you don't time things right, or you're like, oh, I've got this time, but then I think she had to take her mom somewhere, and so I was like, Jackie, I don't want to be rude to Pasta, I don't want to be late, or I don't want him to be thinking that we're not valuing his time, he drove all this way for Chili's, the nerve. I love a good Chili's date, though. I'm glad you enjoy them. I worry that I annoy people in person. That's a product of me, that's not you to validate, that's an issue on my end I need to sort. But I hope you're having a good new year and excited for 2025. Well, what? Spin. Stop waiting for peace, create it for yourself. If this thing is causing you a lot of problems and within reason you can remove it from being a problem, just get rid of it. That includes relationships, that includes tasks, that includes whatever's. It's like, this is disrupting peace for me in a way that I can control. So I'm gonna remove it and just like be happy for a sec. Just be happy. That goes back to me like trying to create some independence as well, or like go out and explore on my own and do these things. Is it's like, if I'm feeling unsettled and I'm not feeling secure to do things like with other people for whatever reason, it's like, just go out and do it yourself then, that's fine. You're strong and independent, you've got a car, you've got a phone, you can get places, you don't have money, you have some money, not a lot of money, but you have some money. You can get gas and it'll be fine. You can get you a snack and it'll be fine. Just go do it. So like, stop waiting for things to get smoother, just try and do it yourself, honestly. The world's not gonna work with you, so you gotta bend it to your will. Go on a weekend trip with Matthew! Woohoo! I love the idea of a weekend trip, because then it's like you get to go explore a fun place. We have access to a subway and a train near us, so I'm like, we could actually be going places and just checking out things and enjoying our time. But again, it's one of those things that I delay, and I'm like, oh, I'll just do that when I have the time, but I'd like to actually do it. Matthew was so sweet, and he planned our trip to Ocean City for my birthday. I would like to do something like that for him. So I'll try and do something like that. At the very least, if I could find out where he'd like to go, or I'd like to go to New York, that'd be fun. Or, you know, we've been to DC a couple of times, but maybe we go to DC, just the two of us, and like check out some of the sites and some of the museums. I'm a slut for a good museum. I love a good museum. I can walk around and look at things all day. It'll be fine. I don't read the stuff always. Sorry. Maybe that'll be part of it. If I don't understand something, look it up. Remember that one. But go on a weekend trip with him, just so we can have us a quick little one. We might be able to go on a honeymoon. And if we can't, that's okay. We can save up for the honeymoon that we actually want. That'd be okay, because like I said, we got the expensive wedding next year, so that's going to be a lot of it, but we can at least do a little something for us. Spin. Continue improving my cooking skills, guys. Like we said earlier, look back to see progress. My chopping has really improved. I'm cooking much more confidently now in terms of like my seasoning and my timing on things. Like, it's got to the point, you know, it seems small, but when you're cooking pasta and you don't need to like set a timer or anything, you can just like, as you're stirring, you feel the texture of the pasta as it hits the spoon, and it's like, it's not done. You're like, she isn't ready yet. You just know, and it's getting that way with like my meats and stuff and my other dishes that I make, and I'm like, cool, I am actually improving. I got a big ass cookbook for Christmas, which I'm so excited about. I got 2 recipes picked out, so the next time we can go to the grocery, I'm gonna try and get a couple of those things to make them. So I love, yes. I would include continue improving my cooking skills, continue improving my cocktail skills. I got a cocktail book, and like a whole kit. So like it's got a muddler, a strainer, a new shaker. It's got one of those things that like you pour ounces with. I think it's called a jigger. You know what I'm saying? It's got the I think it's a 1 ounce and a 2 ounce, or it's a ½ ounce and a 1 ounce. I forget. It's whatever that is. And then it came with a couple little recipes as well. So I'd like to continue improving making cocktails. That would be fun. And dare I say the last one. I don't think this one's anything deeply spiritual, but continue to think before I react. I have improved a lot on this. Some of this just comes with age. I was very quick to defend myself in my early 20s for reasons that were fair, but it would sometimes get to a point where my response would cloud what I was reacting to, you know? And so it's like, it didn't need to be all that. You can be defensive, you can be upset, and you can communicate that in a way that's not you being snarky or mean, especially through like email or text or something. It's like, take a fucking second, take a breath. You're allowed to be mad. What we don't need to do is respond with that, to respond to that feeling of being mad. And I feel like I've improved a lot on that in some ways. Like I said, some of it just comes with age. I'm not like 20, 21 anymore. I'm 27. I'm 27, so I'm basically 30 according to some of my kiddos I see. The nerve. When they told me I looked good for my age, I'm like, oh, I'm young still. Don't take that away from me. But I think that's pretty good. I know, pasta. Was that at them calling me basically 30? I shook. I'm actually ill. Oh, Ghosty messaged me. Yay! Woohoo! Sorry, I gotta say that. Yeah. When they said that's basically 30, shook. I was like, that's ill, that's vile behavior right there. How dare you? But also so true though. Oh my god, I know. Do we think I'll have like a little bit of a crisis as I get ready to turn 30? It is not a huge deal. To be clear, it is a societal pressure put on people, particularly women, to have had it figured out before you turn 30, because that's when you expire or become less desirable. We're gonna blame Leonardo DiCaprio for that. I think I'm just out of his age range. Is it 26 or 27? I'm about to be out of his age range. My DiCaprio days are behind me. I hate being sick on New Year's Eve. COVID stinks and I have nothing to take to help. No, you have COVID? On New Year's Eve? Oh no. I hope you get better soon. That really fucking sucks. As someone who's had COVID 3 goddamn times, it gets stupider every time you have it. I hope you get better soon. That means it'll be out of the way now and you can start the new year with a clean bill of health. They're like, we gotta get this out of the way now so that she can have a smooth January. Girl, I'm 32 and I don't have really any part of my life together. See, thank you, Relic. And 30s are so young. It's so young. Honestly, you're not old until you get to your 60s. 60s, you're getting up there. Let's be real, okay? So it's like, if the end marker is 100 years old, let's say, and they're like 30 is old for a woman, I'm like, that's 70 years still of like not being considered young. Make it make sense. That's absurd. Oh my gosh, you were sick last New Year's too. It's a tradition. Wow, that's a horrible tradition. I'm so sorry, Hales. I hope you feel better soon. I'm 26 and don't have it together. Nope, none of us do, and it's fine. I think it was, I think we had just hoped that, because we hear our parents being like, yeah, I had to work and bust my ass, and then eventually I was able to get a home for us and whatever. And now, so we see that, and we're like, well, I don't want to have to work the rest of my life so hard. I want to be able to enjoy my life. And so then more pressures of turning 30 comes where it's like, shit, I hope to have this also. It's unrealistic. I'd hoped to be financially stable before I turned 30. That was never going to happen, sweetie. Come on now. You were in college until you were 26. I was in college till I was 25 or 26. It's like, that was never going to happen. Come on now. Like, so there's just all that pressure. And then again, 30 is still young, 40 is still young, 50 is still young, 60 you're getting old. I'm kidding. I'll probably change my tune on that if I live that long. But what were we talking about? Oh, continue to think before I react. Yeah, that's just something that you get better with age, you know? Especially, mostly I would say in my like social relationships. It used to be a problem at work, I'm not gonna lie to you. It used to be a problem at work. I have since mellowed out and calmed down, but I'm finding a good balance between like allowing myself to pause and think while also standing up for myself and advocating for myself. I really had to at the Ohio agency, because if they could, they would pull some bullshit on you and then make it your problem that that's what they chose to do. And so I was like, frankly, you don't pay me enough to put up with that. You know, respectfully, here's how it was your fault. Here's how it was your fault. Here's how it's not my problem. I'm off now. It's the weekend, so turning off notifications. But yeah. Continue to think before I react. Those are 25 things I want to do and think about. For the people who have just popped in, I'm happy to go back to the beginning so we can learn these lessons together. I'll do a quick scroll. We'll do a quick highlights reel, but so intentionally make plans, spin, do the streams that seem to be fun. Even if they fail, it's okay, but don't decide that they're gonna fail. Say things, sell things, and let things go. Donate things, and keep saying yes to things. Keep reading and keep exercising. Those are things I want to do. Recognize what is a temporary worry, like paying for a wedding, and stop waiting for the right time to do something. Just do it. There's never going to be a right time. Financially, sure, there's things to keep in mind, but there's never going to be a right time, so you may as well just do it. Call my family more and hustle for a little at work, because we're about to be in busy season with everybody motivated to get their health in order. So it's going to be like, okay, let's jump in on that and get some clients on there so we can maybe hit salary pay. That would be huge. If it happens, great. If not, I just want to comfortably say that I did everything I could on my end. Call my family more. I get along well with my family. I want to talk to them more. Spite is a great motivator. Lean into it. If you can't do things because you want to do them, or you can't do things because you think you'll be good at them, at the very least, do them because other people don't think you can, or because you don't think you can. Be spiteful about it. Raid, don't worry about numbers. Just raid. Just toss it out to people. Show some love and meet some people. That's, what is it, network or not work? That's the way it's going to work on Twitch. If you want to meet some people, go meet some people. Look back to see progress and take more photos at night. You know, whenever you're feeling down on yourself because you're like, oh, I can't believe I made this mistake, or I can't believe I'm feeling this way, or I'm not growing in any type of capacity. It's like, well, where were you 5 years ago? Because I guarantee you changed in some ways. Thank God. Oh my Lord, 22-year-old Gussie. You guys are very lucky I was not streaming in my early 20s. That would have been messy for everybody to witness. Don't save Polaroids for the right shots. If you don't understand it, look it up. There's nothing wrong with not knowing, okay? It's only a problem if you have the potential to find the information and you choose not to, and then are just like, well, I don't know how it's done. Try and figure it out. Don't laugh just because other people are laughing. Make sure you know why they're laughing. Ask yourself if you are happy with who you are before you ask others, and get 10 new outfits. Again, it's goofy seeing those two paired side by side, but I'd like to just take better care of myself, prepare myself a little bit more, look a little bit nicer. There we go. I want to value my opinion of myself more than I value the opinions of others, and I want to develop a kinder opinion of myself. Go places on my own and beat a Souls-like game. Elden Ring, I'm looking at you, Elden Ring. Now that I know about this family library thing, I'm going to borrow my Matthew's Elden Ring. You bet your sweet Katukas. And go places on my own journey. I'm in a whole new state with a lot of opportunities. I should be able to go places on my own. The only hesitation I do have is regards to like subways and train stations. I bet I can learn to do it, but I get lost my brain can't form maps. Even in like smaller settings, like when I was in high school or middle school or wherever, when it would change classes, like I would walk out of my class, no matter how many times I'd been to that class or how long I'd been in that school, I'd walk out of my class and have to be like, where am I? What direction am I facing and where do I need to go? Like I just can't do it. So the subway is the only thing that maybe would be difficult about going places on my own, but I have a car, drive, shit. Figure it out, just journey. If you feel like you're on edge or being evaluated every time you're with someone, it might be time to rework the relationship. You don't have to end the relationship, just rework it. Be like, what power am I giving this and why does it stress me out so much and how can I change that? If it's causing me more anxiety than I can handle, take a step back from the relationship. Communicate that. You don't have to ice and be cold about it, but just be like, hey, I'm feeling really anxious about this, so I think I'm going to take a step back to just make sure I'm doing okay. And stop waiting for peace, create it for yourself. If something's disrupting that and you're like, oh my god, it's been a huge problem within reason, find a way to get rid of it. If it's a job, find a new job if you can. Don't quit your job willy-nilly without having anything prepared if you can handle it. Everybody's situation is different and your safety is the most important. But apparently I've been very fortunate with getting jobs because it's shit out there trying to find jobs. Go on a weekend trip with Matthew and improve my cooking skills and cocktail making skills. Relly, Happy New Year. I'll be back. Gotta do karaoke with the kids. Yay! We might still be live. I'm not sure how much longer we're going to be on. We're just kind of hanging out and chatting right now. Continue improving my cooking skills. I'm already seeing the growth, which I love. Go on a weekend trip with the Matthew. Heck yes. And then the last one, continue to think before I react. So do that. Continue to think before I react. It just gets better with age. You know, just keep being patient with yourself. Keep trying. If it's not working, try something else, okay? If you're, especially with access to social media and technology, don't respond to a text right away if it makes you feel some type of way, or don't tweet out something if you're feeling some type of way necessarily. Take a beat and think about it. Don't respond to a work email right away if you're having an emotional reaction to it and can avoid it. Just sit with it and find a different way. And a Happy New Year! Woohoo! Thank you guys for a wonderful 2024. Chat, you contributed to my wonderful 2024. You've been unbelievably patient during my slumps and during my tears and during my times where I was like, oh, I should give up because I'm shit at Twitch. You guys were so unbelievably patient and telling me like you're not shit actually. You know, you're doing just fine. You're making progress. It's just rough sometimes and you've just got to reevaluate. And now I've reevaluated. And I think 2025 is going to be some really good streams for us. I'm hoping so at least. Well, if you're not, Happy New Year, you beautiful lady. I feel honored to call you Lily Stunner. You're so sweet. I feel honored to have met you and to call you my friend. We've come so far, dude. Can you believe it? We had some pretty good streams this year. I enjoyed the cooking ones. I still think back, I really very much enjoyed our all-day Evil Within stream. Huge fan of Evil Within, you know this. And then I enjoyed our pumpkin carving stream. Stream of Screams, I was really pleased with how this Stream of Screams went. Again, we're ignoring numbers. I just feel like the flow was better. I was much more patient with myself. I didn't, I'm adjusting my preparation time. So before my very first Stream of Screams, I started preparing in August maybe, and that was too much. I got myself all worked up about it. And then I cut it back to September, and then I think this year I cut it to like late September, beginning of October. and I came up with like a theme, so that gave some focus for the types of stories I was looking for, the types of games I wanted to play, the types of cocktails we made. I liked that we did a pumpkin carving stream completely separate. For the first 1 or 2 stream of screams, we carved the pumpkin during that stream, but that's just too much effort, that's just too much time. And we were able to do it before because we had a Jackie with us, and so she could read stories and stuff while we were doing that, but she's busy, and I don't want to make her have to take time off to be there or use an off day to like be on a stream, so I felt bad about that. So we had some pretty good streams this year. By the end of the year, I think we were feeling pretty good about things. I feel pretty good about how today went. And so next year, some of the streams I have in mind, let me pull up my list. I still have some things, like some stuff that I would like to talk about if we just did chatting sections. Like I'd like to look at the Regretful Parents subreddit and the Fence Sitter subreddit, all about like people choosing not to have kids. I would love to do a President's Favorite Drinks stream where we drink President's favorite drinks, I don't know, and maybe do like Are You Smarter Than a 5th Grader? That could be fun. I'd like to look at No Child Left Behind and the consequences of that. I think that could be fun. Let me see here. Charity streams, would love to do that. We're still trying to plan, and I'll keep working on it, but I'm trying to plan a buckshot roulette stream where it's done IRL, and what I mean by that is we use like a Nerf gun revolver, which exists, I found them, and that's how we're like going through things, with still having like, hold on, I gotta get the music back on. And still having items, so I'm trying to figure out what that would look like so I can make it happen. What else? What else do I have? Board game streams, I'm on board to do. Bartending streams, I'm on board to do. Palm reading, that sounds fun. Dinner date with chat, I'm on board to do some of these. Like I have a running list of things I'd like to do, so, you know, we'll try and make it happen. But I think we had some pretty good content this year, and like I said, it gets better each time, so we are slowly making progress. Let me see here if I can. I don't know if I'll be able to raid out. Let me give it a go. Because I'm not logged into Twitch over here. Let me see if I can though, because I'd like to, because we got to follow through on that. Log in. There we go, we're cooking. Sit with me. Okay, here we go, here we go. There we go, we're so in. Hold on, might hear sound from somebody's stream real quick.
We have an iridium pickaxe, guys.
They have an iridium pickaxe, guys, crazy. Excellent, all right, so we can raid out. Let me see, here we go. Who do we want to toss it on over to? Do we want to try and meet some new friends? We could raid over to Suppy Guppy. We haven't raided over to her in a while. Oh, okay, that started me. Here we go, stream manager. That's how we do it there. And then I got to do the raid channel. We have to do it this way just because I don't have the cloud bot set up. Here we go. Suppy Guppy, who is doing just chatting. They're doing their December showcase, so they're showing off pictures of things they did in December. she's just gosh darn delightful, so I think everybody will have a really good time over there. Thank you guys so much for a wonderful 2024. I hope you guys feel good about how your years went, and I hope you're feeling optimistic about the new year. Woohoo! Thank you so much for hanging out and popping by. Anybody who watches the VOD, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Other than that, I think we're good to go. I don't know when I'll be live next. We'll figure it out. Like I said, I want to make sure I'm doing stuff that I enjoy and think is a good time. So we gotta find that. And we will. But I appreciate you guys. There you go. Sorry, I had to fix my phone. There you go. Good night. Good night. Thank you so much. If you're going out tonight, I'm serious. Be safe. Be responsible. People are idiots. Trust yourselves and be responsible with yourselves. Be mindful to people around you, okay? Party responsibly. Make good decisions. Or if you're making bad decisions, don't get caught. And then I'll see you guys next time for whatever we choose to do, okay? I'll keep you company when I can, and I appreciate you being here, all right? Good night.
It's like an hour, or I won't say exactly where she lives, 'cause that would be bad.